Okay, Jordan Poyer will be the only one that doesn't practice today. Everybody else will be out there in some capacity. With that, I'll take your questions.
But Jordan, is that related to something that happened in the game this past week?
Yeah, yes.
Would you consider him day to day or week to week at this point?
I consider him day to day.
Hey, Sean, yesterday you mentioned that you reached out to Vic when you were a younger coach.
Sure.
Have the tables turned for you at events like the Combine? Have younger coaches introduced themselves to you, and how much pride do you take in sort of paying it forward like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the fellowship or fraternity of the business that we're in. You try and help people that, because I know I've been helped, just to your point, whether it was by the coaches I was around in Philadelphia that really brought me up years ago, or conversations with people like Vic, as you mentioned, and that's part of paying it forward, like you said. And yeah, it's humbling to have those conversations on the other end now, being on the other end.
Is that fun?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's but it's also helps me too, because the game's always changing and evolving, and so if you don't change and evolve, then you become extinct, right? So you're always trying to talk to younger coaches, talk to coaches in college, and see where the game's going, see what they're seeing, or hear what they're seeing at their level in terms of how the game's changing, because the game changes usually somewhere around there, or high school maybe sometimes even before it changes here. So.
I think it's similar to that as a defensive, guys calling the plays now versus when you last did in Carolina. Have you noticed like differences in yourself with like things you're calling or ways you're approaching it based on all you've learned?
I guess I would hope so. Just trying to refine myself, get better every year with who I am as a coach and as a person, really, quite frankly. But I would hope so.
Sean, we've asked you about Osiris a few times, throughout camp, the summer, and now into the season. But what does he continue to do to sort of impress you, and for you guys to elevate him into the role that you have this early in his career?
Yeah, I've mentioned numerous times now his poise. He's very serious about the challenge in front of him. From just playing in the NFL, it seems, to now week-to-week game planning and who he's going to play in front of. And then he has a great, I think, humble respect for those around him, the veterans around him, mostly, namely David, who plays, at the position and has been at the position for multiple years now. So I think they have a good rapport, and that's a neat thing to watch unfold.
Is rare. I mean, it's not unheard of for you to play rookies, but they haven't traditionally started right out of the gate for you. So is that poise rare in his case?
Yeah. I mean, it's like similar to TB. That he's mature. It seems like beyond his years. Again, still a young player. So it's refreshing to be around a young man like that comes in a humble way and is very focused on what he wants to do and how he wants to get it done.
Tyler was just named Special Teams Player of the Month.
Yeah.
He's made all his kicks so far. The confidence that you, knowing how reliable he's been thus far.
Right. Yeah. Don't take that for granted. He's a highly competitive young man that doing well is important to him. Yet he has great perspective on things at the same time, and he's extremely, extremely mentally tough.
That 54-yarder that he made the other day, he almost made it look like an extra point. Is he really locked in right now? I mean, he's playing about as well as you've seen him play?
Yeah, I mean, his consistency is what stands out. And, he's got a great process during the week with Sam and Reed and the resources around him. And so he's just a very reliable guy.
Sean, we talked a lot about Ed Oliver's progression, but how have you seen the duo of Ed and Daquan next to each other on the interior, really evolve their relationship and just how they play off of each other? The past couple of years, just what have you seen from both of them working together there?
Yeah, you know, they're both different. They're obviously different types of players to some extent, but in some ways very similar. And it's been interesting to watch now in the new seat that I'm in this year. Their relationship, and Daquan is one of the elder statesmen of our defensive line. He'll probably get mad at me for saying that, but what comes with that is wisdom and an influence. But at the same time, you've got to do your job and do it to a high level, right, in order to have that say. And he's done a good job of working with Coach Washington and just really sticking to and developing his game. I think this year, I think he's really playing at a high level right now.
How much does the fact that he is just so consistent and he is one of the older guys on this, on the D line, how beneficial has that been for Ed, allowing him to be able to make the plays that he has so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it used to be, a few of the veteran players, and then Ed was young and coming, and it was kind of like, but now I think it's really everyone's on the same, everyone's on the same level now in terms of experience, really. Ed's been through a number of years now, enough snaps to where, he has seen some ball too and can share some things with them, and it's really checks and balances. They do a good job of, hey, remember this, and holding each other accountable and those types of things. And then Von obviously is baked into all that as well.
Sam, he's only punted 5 times, which is great obviously for your offense and your team, but he has a really high gross average, and every time he seems to go out there, he doesn't allow that light work to be inconsistent for him. What have you seen in Sam from the time you got him last year, late in the summer obviously, till now, and what he does?
Yeah, again, just a guy that's I almost feel like he feels like he has something to prove every day, and I think that's when he's at his best, number one, yes, but he also comes off that's kind of his personality, and I think that works well for him. And so that's very powerful, and it keeps him doing this, after being in the league, a number of years, to keep being able to do that, and at the same time, kind of having that determination that burns inside, I think that's what I love about Sam.
Sean, as a defensive play caller, this may sound weird, is there any part that's somewhat exciting with the challenge at hand of facing a team that does what the Miami Dolphins do?
Exciting. Yeah, I mean, you look forward to the challenge. That's part of the reason we do what we do. It's going to be a great environment in Western New York and Orchard Park, and we're going to need our fans, not just on defense, really, but we're going to need our fans the whole afternoon. So, like I said, it's going to take all of us, not just our team. It's going to take our team that is the Bills Mafia and the Bills community. So, but yeah, it is a challenge, but one that you look forward to, and that's the part of the. I think part of the burn every week is a new challenge, and it's what you. I think that's why when people retire, they worry that they're going to miss that piece, and so I think it just becomes who you are.
I've heard a lot of teammates have talked about his preparation. What have you seen from him this week while he's getting ready for an offense like Miami?
Yeah, I mean, he played a little bit, I think, in the first game down there last year, and then I think he got banged up and went out, if I'm not mistaken. But he's very steady, and he certainly does his work. So, again, another guy that is mature and has experienced some things in life that have helped him mature, or where he had to mature rather quickly, and so even last season he was out for a number of weeks there, and going through that as a rookie. Being a rookie is not easy, let alone going through some adversity like that. So he's in a good spot.
Sean, as you continue to prepare for Miami, what's the balance you have to strike with your defense and when you're talking with them about being prepared for everything they throw at you, while at the same time still playing fast, still playing instinctual, because they don't think something that might be when they.
Yeah, that's a. You watch other teams, and just the fundamentals more than anything. We've got to make sure that we continue to grow each and every week with our fundamentals, because that's an important piece of our growth, and it's much needed for us to continue to improve just as a defense alone. So we've got to make sure we're doing that.
Is it part of your pregame process every week to check with Matt or Tyler on like the max distance on field goals each way, or is it during the game?
Yeah, we have the communication, not specifically, I don't go specifically to them, but we have processes in place that, I work with Coach Smiley pregame and some of our other resources that we have to figure out where the lines are, and that's how we do it. So, good.